Hi everybody, Ed Skorsky here from Bring Back the Memory. And our company, myself and my daughter Janine, we buy and sell collectibles, and we also, one of the main things is stock certificates. And today's title is Finding the Value of Stock Certificates, Part 2. In the first part, we talked about the 7 factors that go into valuing stock certificates. And I just want to quickly review what those are before we go into today's video. And they are the scarcity or rarity of the certificate. The second one is the appearance of the certificate. The third one is the industry. Some industries are more popular than others. The next one is the artwork or the vignette of the stock certificate. Not all certificates have vignettes, but the ones that are collectible usually do. The next one is the age of the stock certificate. Then there's the condition of the stock certificate, whether it's in pristine condition, very good condition, or in poor condition with marks on it, tears, or anything like that. And finally, whether or not the certificate has any signatures of famous people. Okay, so those are the things that enter into finding the value of a stock certificate. Now we're going to talk about how to put a numerical value on your stock certificates. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, from a buyer standpoint, if you find a certificate that you really like and that you want to collect, you want to have a general idea of how much you want to pay for it, okay? And remember, like we said before, these don't have an exact value. Their value is only what someone's willing to pay for it. In other words, it follows the laws of supply and demand. And again, don't forget, these certificates are all canceled, so they have no intrinsic value. You can't trade them in for currency. Their value is only as a collectible, right? So now, how do you find out what you should pay for it? Well, the first thing is price guides. Now, there are some price guides for stock certificates. I'm going to show you a few. Here's one. This is 2005, so it's 15 years old. It's by Fred Full III. And there's a more recent edition, okay, so I think it's 2015. And basically, this contains mostly a list of different companies, and it's many different industries. And again, because this is pretty old, it really does not have a really good idea of the value today. But yet it's still useful because you can compare. Like if you see one certificate is valued at $5 and another one is valued at $50, you can be pretty sure that the one is more valuable than the other. Now here's another price guide. This one I think is 2002, and the thing about this, again, it's many different industries, but the thing that's really good about this one is it's got a lot of pictures, and I think that's the main value of a price guide like this, because you can see the pictures. And as you go through this, you can look at certificates and say, oh, gee, that's a great one. I'd like to have that, based on the artwork and whatever you value in it. And from that, you can then search for it and try to find it. Okay. Again, it's older, so the price that they have in there really doesn't help you too much because it's not necessarily the price of what it's worth today. Now, the last price guide that I want to talk about, this is the Collectible Stocks and Bonds from North American Railroad by Terry Cox. And this is really a great price guide for railroads, okay? And this is pretty recent. It was written it's the 3rd edition, and it's written in 2018. And it's has a very extensive list of railroads. And not only that, there are pictures of the certificates, both stocks and bonds. It mentions not only the company itself, but all the different varieties that exist, and different things about the certificate, like whether it was issued and canceled, or maybe it's unissued. In other words, there's some stock certificates that they exist, but they were never sold to anybody. So that makes a big difference. Now, some people don't want certificates that have never been issued. Other people do because they're usually in pristine condition. So it all depends on what you want to collect. But again, this is a great book for valuing stock certificates. All right. So basically, now the final thing to find values is auctions. In-person auctions, you can, some auction companies put out catalogs telling you what the item sold for, and for that you can tell. And of course, there's the online auctions, and eBay, of course, is the biggest of that. And that's a great way to find out what a certificate is worth, what it actually sold for. And so you can look up a certificate on eBay and find out what it sold for yesterday. And that's a pretty good indication of what it's worth, because that's what somebody paid for it yesterday. So I would say that of all of those ways to determine value, that is probably the best way. Although, you know, nothing is perfect, but that's a pretty good way to determine value. Okay, thanks for watching our videos, and hopefully you gain some knowledge on this, and this will help you in finding certificates that you want to collect and finding out where to get them and how much to pay for them. Okay, thanks for watching.